And joining us right now to further dissect the situation of the cyber attack happening in Poland, Jacek Raubo, Director of Defense 24 Analyst Unit. Hello, sir, and welcome to TVP World.
Good morning, and again, thank you for the invitation.
Thank you for helping us take a look at this situation. As we see, there's been widespread cyber attack happening in Poland right now. And this one actually hit pretty close to home as our Polish press agency was targeted in this cyber attack. And we've seen a lot of, falsified information floating around not just the internet, but various Polish publications. Can you first tell us the extent of this attack?
Truly, it is a very vital attack because it is a kind of a synergy between two different domains. First of all, of course, we are understanding this form of pressure from mostly we are dedicated this to Russia, but from the foreign actor. When we think about the entrance into the Polish press agency system, but on the other hand, there is another domain which is info domain, and this kind of a fake message is also a part of the psychological pressure against the society, not only when we think about the present situation, but in long term, this is something which is really important for the people who are responsible for this. Why? Because it is building a kind of a pressure for another press informations coming from this important and a very strategic press agency. But this is not only a situation which is dedicated to Poland, but we need to remember, for instance, some famous entrance on the Associated Press Twitter account. So it is something which this is a lessons learned for a whole society when we think about two different domains, cyber and, of course, info domain.
All right, like you mentioned, I think you brought about something very important here. This is a psychological operation, as well as having extensive long-term effect that we might be overlooking right now. I'll take in our personal example because we have worked very closely with the Polish press agency gathering some of our material. And for the past few days, we've been given instructions from the head of our newsroom to double check, triple check, quadruple check to make sure that we're bringing the most up-to-date information without these falsified information airing. And of course, for the short term, this is something that we can stay vigilant. But I can imagine not just for our journalists, but even for the general public, with this extensive amount of time, the long-term effect might be the fatigue when it comes to this information and having to sift through all of that. Will this becoming an open point of attack for Russian disinformation if the situation gets any more dire?
I think there is different phases of this kind of attack. The first is, of course, the infiltration. And I think Internal Security Agency and other institutions are right now investigating this aspect. On the other hand, as you mentioned before, we need to focus more on fact-checking and being much more patient when we are dealing with very fast and rapid information coming from the different sources, not only from the official sources. On the other hand, there is a third layer, and I think we cannot forget that aspect. This third layer is dedicated to social media. Where we see almost a wave of fake news and also unchecked messages. And I think Russian side and also Belarusian and also maybe Chinese, they are trying to invest more in this third layer to create a kind of a chaos inside this normal discussions inside Facebook accounts and also spreading false information via Twitter and other, for instance, TikTok. That's why I think this kind of attack is opening a door to discussion about the wider problem. We'd like to have a very fast news. I would like to have a fast information. And I think society is much more lazy than before, and they don't want to wait. And that's why, for instance, some authoritarian regimes are trying to erase this conventional form forms of media and to be much more active inside this unconventional forms of spreading information. So this attack will be, and I'm sure that it is used by Russians or Belarusians for long-term forms of disinformation inside mostly social media, because we are checking, but people are generally would like to see and hear a very fast information. So it is a very important 21st century challenge for, I think, conventional media and conventional journalists.
All right, you made a very good point right here. Thank you for shedding light on this specific situation. As we see the wider problem of people wanting to have a knee-jerk reaction to the type of information that they receive. And how would the everyday people, because as a media personnel myself, at least I'm getting paid to do this, so I won't mind sifting through those information. But as everyday people, how do we defend ourselves from these falsified information?
I think the first thing is to stop this rapid sharing of information only to get response from the social media accounts, other users. So I think we need to be much more better in fact checking. This is a task not only for media. This is the task for schools. This is the task for teachers, how to learn and how to teach others when we think about information, because this is always a kind of a synergy. I need to learn more and I need to teach other people. So we see double things in this defending process. And this is not only a military issue. This is not only cybersecurity issue. I'm really appreciate that we are talking much more wider about this problem, because generally when we are focusing only on the cybersecurity issues, we are closing a lot of space where people feel that they are abandoned by government institutions, because when we only think about the procedures, about the forms of attack, vector of this attack and other attacks, we are losing ground when we think about the connection with the normal people, normal users. And of course, we need to accept that right now in 21st century social media pressure, we will have another forms of fake news and false information spreading. But I think year after year, we need to educate more people and create a kind of net of educated users to stop spreading this kind of information, or maybe to slow down spreading some well-prepared form of psychological actions like this one we had in Poland.
Right, like you mentioned, as the technology evolve, it is more important and crucial for everyday users to also evolve their critical thinking skills in dealing with this particular situation when it comes to information, when it comes to seeking out new knowledge. Of course, this will be a very, very big topic going forward. So thank you so much for coming in and help shed some light on this particular situation. Your take has been very informative. So thanks again for being with us on TVP World. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.